Hello everyone, and here's another week of maths learning. Now this is our very last week before half term and you have worked so hard so far. We've had lots of pictures of adding up, subtracting, counting on, doubling, halving, identifying numbers. You've been really busy with your home learning, which is great. So I think you deserve a pat on the back and a thumbs up, wiggle wiggle, wow, for all that excellent work you've been doing. That's why on my board this week I have a star for Blossom class, one for Oak class and one for Sycamore class. So well done everybody, we're really proud of all you're doing at home. We've got a great week ahead of us, we've got a new number today and a new theme as well, which I know you're going to really enjoy. It's time for a new number now, so can you remember what last week's number was? Can you remember at home? We've had lots of practice. What was it, Cece? You've got a good memory.
Was it 15?
It was 15, well done. So let's find number 15 on our number line. Now, if you're still not quite so sure about these big numbers, you can always count up from 1 and move your finger along the number line as you say each new number. Can you do that for me, Cece? We'll count together from 1 and find number 15, last week's number. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there we are, that's last week's number, 15. We're going to add one more, which means we're going to go and have jump one place up our number 9 to our new number, which is number 16. So one more than 15 is 16. Would you like to circle 16 for me, Cece? That's it, lovely, thank you very much. So we can see that 16 is one more than 15, so one less than 16 is one jump back to 15, and one more than 16 is one jump up our number line to number 17. But first of all, let's have a look at number 16. So can you write a big number 16 on the board for me? Lovely. What do you think to a number formation, boys and girls? Does that look right to you? Looks pretty good to me. So to do our number 6, that's the trickiest one, isn't it? Number 1's quite easy, just a nice big straight line. But number 6, we do like a curly K shape. I'm keeping my pencil or my chalk on.
And then you do a backwards curl.
And then a backwards curl. I curl back into it. So that's it. It does take a little bit of practice, but it's one smooth line curling back in on itself. Okay, so now we're going to look at different ways to make 16. And we know, just by looking at the number, we can see a way to make 16 already, can't we? Because we know that that 1 means 1, what does it mean, Cece?
1, 10.
It means 1, 10, and the 6 means 6. 6 ones, doesn't it? Exactly. So let's have a look. So number 10 is here in our number line, and if we jump up 6 more places, we should end up at 16. Should we do that together? Let's just check and see. So we're on 10, I'm going to do 6 more jumps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That worked perfectly. So let's get our number 16 on the board with our Numicon. So you've got your 10, pop it there, lovely. And you're looking for 6 ones now. Very good. I can see that you were checking them by counting in 2s, weren't you? So should we do that together to make sure we've got 16? Will you help me, Cece?
Or I could have counted in 3s to 6.
You could have counted in 3s to 6, exactly, but not 3s to 16. We're not quite there yet. So let's go in 2s for now, Cece. Ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Well done. So let's have a look at this now. What can you tell me about number 16?
That it's an even number.
Oh, took the words out of my mouth. Do you want to take over? Yeah, it's an even number, and we can see that because it's got an even top. So last week's number 15 had that
one.
It had the 1 sticking out there, didn't it, like that? So we've added 1 more, and we now have our 16, which is a nice even number. And we can tell that because we can count up in 2s to get there. So let's just write our first sum down on the board. Do you want to write it down? What did we add to make 16?
10 and 6.
Come on, can you write it maybe up there? You can find some room. Should we squeeze in a little equal sign because we've got our number 16 there. So yeah, 10 add with our plus sign there, 6 equals 16. So we found out that it's an even number. And if it's an even number, it
Then
must...
that means that you can half it.
It means that you can half it. Exactly, well done. So let's have a think. How are we going to half 16? Well, should we actually fold it in half? Let's do that and let's see how many we get. So if I fold that one in half, do you want to fold that one in half? And then we will count up how many we've got. It's a bit tricky. That's it. So, you managed it? Nearly. That's okay, that will do. Super duper. So half of 16 is half of our numicon. So let's count up how many dots there are in half our numicon. Can you count it while I hold it? Point to the dots as you count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Carry on.
6, 7, 8.
Lovely. So we have found out that half of 16 is 8. So we can actually turn that round and say double 8 makes 16. And we found another way to work out our 16, our number of the week. So can you find 2 8s in there and we'll pop them up on our board. And we'll be able to check if that's the right answer because they'll be at the same height as our number 16 here, won't they? That's it, well done. Do you want to stick them up beside it? Well, I'll stick one up, you do the other one. How about that? Well, it needs to be up here, so we need to compare it, don't we? We need to see if it's the same. So, have we made 16? Can you tell by looking at, have we got 16?
Yes.
We certainly do. Let's double check, count in twos for me.
2,
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So we've made another new addition sum. Would you like to write that one underneath the other one? 8 add 8 makes 16. Super job, well done. Now, I know we made that look really, really simple, and that's because Cece and I have had a lot of practice doing this. But you might not find it quite that easy yet. I mean, you could do. I know you are very good at maths. But if not, it might just take a little bit of experimenting, of counting out different numbers and adding them up together until you can make the right answer. So, with our doubles, for example, we folded our numicon in half to work it out, didn't we? But you might not have the numicon there. So what you could do is, again, you can count out objects and split them up. Try and split them up evenly into 2 equal groups. That would be one way to count them out. Another way is just by having a go. So if I have 5 and I double it and I add 5 more, how many will I have? That's right, I will have 10. Now, is 10 bigger or smaller? Is it more than or less than 16? That's right, it's less than 16. So I know that I need to add more than 5 to get my double to 16, don't I? So I know that I would need a bigger number to double and make 16. So from there, you can count up maybe 6 add 6, 7 add 7, 8 add 8, and you would finally get to our number of the week, 16. So we are still in Fairy Tale Week, and our theme this week is castles. Now, a big part of castles in fairy stories is the dragon that guards and protects them. So I have fun drawing out and painting a dragon this week. We love combining our mathematics with something a bit more creative. So I think you're going to enjoy doing something like that at home this week. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our dragon to work out different ways to make 16, a bit like we did with our beanstalk a couple of weeks ago. So up here at the top, we've counted out, how many scales do you think we've counted out for our dragon?
16.
We've counted out 16 because that's our number of the week this week. And we're going to move some down onto our dragon to work out some addition to 16 and also some subtraction from 16 as well. So let's start with some subtraction. Now, do you remember what subtraction means? Can you help us, Jack? What does subtraction mean? What do you do if you subtract something?
You're taking a number away from another number.
You're taking a number away from another number, exactly, brilliant. So we've started with our 16 scales. Now, let's take some away and put them on our dragon's wings. Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
Go on. So pull a few off there and pop them on his wings. Super. Should we leave it at that? So we started off with 16, didn't we? And how many did you take down? Should we count down how many you took away?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so do you want to write that down for us, Jack, our subtraction? So we did 16. How's his number formation look? Brilliant. 16, and how many did we take away?
4.
We took away 4. Do you want to put the equal sign as well? So remember, our subtraction, the sign of subtraction, looks like a little line going across. Let's work this out now. So what we're going to do is we are going to count out how many we have got left here, and that will give us our answer. So should we do that? Can you help me, Jack? Count out how many scales are remaining up here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Brilliant. Can you write 12 there? So write it next to the equal sign. Thank you. So well done. You can do it that way. So by separating things out and counting how many are left. That's one way you could do it. Or you could put 16 in your head and count back 4. Now that's a little bit trickier, but the more you practice it, the easier it gets. So should we do that as well to check that we've got 12 as our answer? So 16 in your head.
Yep.
Hold 4 fingers up. Okay, 4 fingers, that's it. So 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Our answer is 12, so we definitely worked that out right. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing you could do would be to share out the scales onto the dragon wings to work out additions. So let's move some of these down. Can you fill up your wing? And I'll put some on my wing, and then we'll count them up and see what additions we have. There we go. I mean, instead of scales on wings, you could perhaps do teeth in the dragon's mouth or flames, something like that. See how creative you can be with your ideas. So let's see what addition we have made here. Do you want to count yours up?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. Go on. Do you want to write 8 down? Do you want to write it there underneath your 1?
Okay.
Now, we worked this out before, didn't we, when we were doing our doubles? We found out that double 8 makes 16. So how many are going to be on my side? If Jack has 8 already, how many will I have? That's right, I've got to have 8, haven't I? So let's just check that I do have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Brilliant. And what does that make? What's our number of the week?
16.
16, super. So we've moved a few scales about now, and we're going to count up how many are on each wing to find a new addition. So how many do you have on yours?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, do you want to write your 5 down? Super, lovely. And how many do I have on my side? Should we count them up? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 5, add 11 more makes?
16.
It makes 16, our number of the week. Super job, well done. So there are lots of different calculations you can work out from just having 16 of an object. As we know, you can do some takeaways, so take some away, see how many are left, or you can separate them into different amounts and add them back together. See how many different combinations you can come up with. You'll never guess what's happened. The brave Sir Jack, Knight of the Kingdom of Lancashire has gone to put on some shoes because our dragons have escaped from the castle. They've run outside or they've flown outside into the garden, and we need to catch them before it's too late, before they start breathing fire and burning things down. So I'm just going to wait for my knight to come back, and then we're going to go on a dragon hunt outside. Okay, so we're outside in the garden with Sir Jack and Princess, what's her name?
Starlight.
With Princess Starlight and her trusty unicorn, Twilight, and I've got my very brave steed here, Bullseye. And your mission is to go and find the 16 dragons that have escaped all around the garden. But you only have 16 seconds to get them all. Are you ready for the challenge, brave knights and princesses? Okay. Will you help me count up to 16? When I get to 16, you must stop. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Stop! Oh, come back. See how many dragons you've managed to collect.
There was one dragon left.
Well, we're going to count them out and see how many dragons you need to catch.
2 dragons.
Okay, let's go pass them this way. Thank you.
Oh, no.
It's all right. You wait there, Jack. We need to find out how many we're missing first.
Wait. 2.
Wait, have you spotted some more?
Yeah.
Pass them over.
See, look.
Can I take those? Thank you. Okay, so going to count out how many we've got. Right. Pin down.
Hopefully got more than 10.
Do you think you've got more than 10? Let's have an estimate. How many do you think they've got there? Let's estimate.
15!
You think you've got 15? What's your
No.
estimation?
13.
13. Right.
yeah.
Can I count them out into your hands, Cece or Jack? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh.
Okay, so we found 11 dragons, didn't we? So how many are still on the loose? Should we work that out
5.
together? You think you know, do you?
5, I think 5.
So let's have a look at my little sum that I've got here. So we found 11. We've still got some missing, and we know we've got 16 in total. So what we need to do is count up from 11 to work out how many are still missing. Okay, can you help me? So put 11 in your heads. Is it there? Is it safe? So we're going to count on now. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you were right, weren't you? There's 5 more dragons on the loose. Go on, find them before they set fire to things. Go on. Lovely. So you can record how many dragons you found, or how many coins or pieces of paper or anything around your house that you found, and maybe record them as a tally. So let's have a look. So 11 would look like this. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and we need 5 more, don't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder how they're getting on. You've done it. Let's check that we've got 5 there now.
I've got 3, he's got 2.
3 and 2 make 5. Well done. Lots of maths going on today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Super job. Well done. Thank you, Dragon Hunters. And on the back, I've written the numbers from 1 to 16. So that's something that you children can do at home as well to practice your number formation. And your mission now is to put these, all 16 of them, in order. How long will it take you? I'll time it and let you know. Well, children, it took you 30 seconds to order these numbers. Well done. Do you think you can beat their record at home? Why don't you have a go? So we're back inside now in the wall. We've caught all our dragons, we're all okay, but we need a castle. So now we're going to look at something completely different, completely new to us. It's called symmetry. Can you say that? It's quite a tricky word, isn't it? Symmetry. I wonder if you know what it means. Do you know, Jack?
It means it's the same on both sides.
It means it's a shape. It's the same on one side as it is in the other. But in what way?
As if you put a mirror next to well,
say half of it.
Yeah. And the other half matches in the mirror.
Yeah.
Well, then it's
symmetrical. Yeah, so it's like a reflection of the other half. So let me show you something that is symmetrical on me, or nearly symmetrical. I've got one hand. If I put my other hand up, it will show a symmetrical image of it. So there we go. So you can see the symmetry. My thumbs are touching, they're together in the middle. My little fingers are in the same place on the outside. So there's a symmetrical image. Now let's have a think about what other things could be symmetrical. So I've got some objects here and I want you to decide if you think they're symmetrical or not. So my first object is a paper plate. And what shape is that paper plate?
A circle.
It's a circle. You knew that, didn't you, reception? Well done. So do you think a circle is a symmetrical object? What does it need to be symmetrical? It needs to be
the same on both sides.
The same on both sides, a reflection. So what I'm going to do to find out if this is symmetrical or not is I'm going to fold it down the middle, and then we'll be able to tell if it's the same on both sides, if it's reflected on the other side. So let's have a look. What shape have I created now? It's half a circle, isn't it? Do you remember the name of that shape? Do you know, Jack?
A semicircle.
We've made a semicircle, haven't we? Now let's have a look. Does a circle have a line of symmetry? It does, doesn't it? Because you can see that it's the same on both sides. Let's have another think. Let's have another look at some shapes. Here I've got a piece of a little napkin, some kitchen roll. What shape is this? Testing your shapes now, your shape knowledge. Can you help us, Jack? What's this shape?
A square.
It's a square, isn't it? Do you think a square is a symmetrical shape? What do you think? Is it the same on both sides? Does it look quite even? If we fold it in half, do you think it's going to be the same?
Yes.
Let's have a look. Let's fold it in half. Let's have a look at both sides. Is that symmetrical? Are there any bits sticking out anywhere? No, it's the same on both sides. It's been reflected and it's the same on both sides. Now squares have lots of different ways that we can fold them to see if they're symmetrical. See, if we fold it this way as well, we will find another line of symmetry, another way to fold it so it's the same on both sides. See? So maybe you can have an investigate at home, see what objects you can find that are symmetrical. Here I've got some drawings as well. So here's my cat. Do you think that this drawing is symmetrical? There's something that's going to tell you if it is or not. Can you spot it? What can tell us that that's symmetrical or not?
The mirror.
Well, we could use the mirror to find out, but yes, but what can we notice about the object that's on one side and not on the other side?
The tail.
The tail, exactly. So here I've got my mirror and I can use that to find out if it's symmetrical or not. So I'm going to fold my cat more or less down the middle. See? And then I'm going to put it against my mirror and it's going to show me a reflection. Okay, so let me hold this against and hopefully you will be able to see. If I hold that against that, I'm going to move it closer to you so you can see. If I hold that against my mirror, it's very tricky to show you exactly. Oh, there we go. Now you can see I have got a cat with two tails. Does that sound right to you, Jack?
No.
No. Is that the drawing that I drew, a cat with two tails?
No.
It definitely wasn't. So, is that a symmetrical picture?
No.
Definitely not. Let's have a look at this. So, here on my board, I've got a picture of a castle, or I've got half a castle. And what we're going to try and do is draw its reflection on this side. So if we draw its reflection, we should get a mirror image of this side of the castle in this side on our paper. Now, it's a bit tricky And I would recommend trying it with simple shapes first, just until you get the hang of it. But if you find it really easy, you can add more turrets to your castle. We've got some turrets here behind Jack. We can add some more windows to the castle, see if you can reflect those. We've got the doorway, or you could do a nice portcullis and see if you can reflect that. So do you want to have a go getting started?
Okay.
See if you can draw its reflection on the other side. Lovely. So should we just show everybody what you've done so far? So let's have a look here. We had half a doorway and Jack drew its reflection. So now we have the complete doorway. So you need to carry on the others. This could take a little while. I've made it tricky for him. Well, we hope you've enjoyed your maths activities this week. We really have. We've had lots of fun and we've really enjoyed the fairy tale topic. We've made bean bags, we've made beanstalks, we have chased gingerbread men, we've chased dragons, we have drawn symmetrical castles, we've had a shoe shop for Cinderella. We've been so busy with all our learning and we've seen some fantastic pictures from you at home too, which is fabulous. And I can't wait to see this week's pictures with some beautiful symmetrical castle designs and pictures and maybe some fire-breathing dragons with different numbers of scales on them. So please send them in to us. Enjoy your week's learning.